to my channel. So today we will be discussing pharmacology of PharmD second year. Other subjects I have already discussed in my other videos, and already I have covered PharmD first year. So if you have any queries or if you want me to make other kind of videos, then let me know in the comment section. Also, I would be sharing my notes, so if you want me to share my notes, then please let me know in my mail ID. My mail ID is linked in the description box below, so check it out. And at the end of the video, I will be answering 2 queries, so stay tuned for that. So as I said earlier, today we will be discussing pharmacology. So starting with general pharmacology, introduction, definition and scope of pharmacology. As pharmacology is a new subject for most of you. You will be studying this for the first time. We never studied pharmacology in our school, not 11th, not 12th, never. So pharmacology is mainly just the study of drugs, how they will act, what they will do to the body, what the body will do to it, that is pharmacodynamics, pharmacokinetics, etc. Then there are drug-drug interaction. For example, if I am taking tetracycline with calcium supplements, then what will happen, etc. So, and different classification of drugs, like there are some drugs which are anti-allergic, they are called anti-allergic or antihistaminic drug. Then there are some drugs which act on our CNS, some drugs which act on our CVS, etc. Some drugs which prevent urinary tract infection, that is antibiotics, etc. So starting up with general pharmacology, we have introduction, definition, scope of pharmacology. Routes of administration of drug is very much important. There are mainly 2 types, enteral and parenteral, and then there are subdivisions. So all of them are very much important, and why certain drugs are given by certain routes and when they are given specially, so that is important. Like normally antibiotics, they are given by oral route, but if you get a case in ER of some infection, then you will have to give it by IV route. Why? Because IV has highest bioavailability, that is 100%, that's why. And then there are certain things, like for example, if I am giving intramuscular injection, then 90% of the cases intramuscular injection hurts the most, so you have to avoid it and stuff like that. So that is what comes in routes of administration of drugs, which is important. Then we have pharmacokinetics, that is ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion of drug. If I am taking a drug, then how much amount of the drug, what percentage of drug is absorbed from my gut, that is GIT. Then where it is distributed, if it is lipid binding, if it is protein, how much protein bounded it is, or if it is water soluble and stuff like that. Then metabolism, especially in distribution, 2 things are very much important. First is, if it is a pregnant woman, then does it get distributed in the breast, that is, will it be excreted in breast milk or does it cross placenta. And very important is, if it is distributed or if it crosses blood-brain barrier and CSF, that is cerebrospinal fluid. So these 2 things are very much important in distribution. Then metabolism, mainly most of the drugs, they go first pass metabolism or hepatic metabolism, or they are metabolized by liver. Then excretion, 90% is excreted through urine, but if it is not water soluble, then it will be excreted at feces. Some, such as alcohol, are also excreted through lungs, that is when we exhale. Then some, such as mercury, I think it is excreted by skin. Then we have pharmacodynamics, that is what the drug will do to the body. Then factors of modifying drug effect. So this is very much important. ऐसा कभी कभी बोला जाता है कि खाने के पहले दवाई लेनी या फिर खाने के बाद दवाई लेनी, तो फिर वो क्यों लेनी है, all that is given in factors modifying drug effects. So here mainly we will study about 0th order, 1st order, 2nd order of kinetics, etc. Then we have drug toxicity, that is acute, subacute and chronic toxicity and preclinical evaluation. So all this we will study together, that is preclinical evaluation and drug toxicity, which are learned afterwards. That is acute toxicity, यानी कि ड्रग लेने के तुरंत बाद कुछ महीनों में आ जाती है या फिर कुछ वीक्स में आ जाती है, then it is acute. फिर अगर कुछ सालों में आती है तो फिर then it is chronic toxicity. And then there are drug interactions. So it can be drug interaction, drug food interaction, etc. Then we have pharmacology of drugs acting on ANS. So here we have anti-adrenergic and adrenergic, then cholinergic, anticholinergic. Neuromuscular blockers is very much important, and anti-adrenergic, adrenergic, cholinergic, anticholinergic drugs are also very much important, because they mainly act on acetylcholine, which is a very important neurotransmitter. Then mydriatics and myotics are not very much important, but you should have an idea of what are the drugs which are which affect on which carry out mydriatics or miotics, that is pupil dilation, etc. And what they do, what is the mechanism of drug action, what is the site of drug action, etc. Then drugs used in myasthenia gravis, drugs used in Parkinsonism are very much important. Then pharmacology of drugs acting on cardiovascular system, these are most important because most of the time cases that we have are of blood pressure or certain diseases related to heart such as atherosclerosis, MI, angina, etc. So antihypertensive, it is most important. If you learn antihypertensive, then drugs used for congestive heart failure and certain other drugs, they are similar. Then we have anti-anginal drug, anti-arrhythmic drug, and drug used for hyperlipidemias is also very important. All the statins especially. Pharmacology of drugs acting on central nervous system, general anesthetics. Then we have local anesthetics, so they are very much important. It can be asked what is the difference between general anesthesia and local anesthesia. And also very famous question is what is the difference between sedative and hypnotic. Then we have anticonvulsants, analgesic and anti-inflammatory agents which are important, NSAIDs, that is painkillers. Then we have psychotropic drugs, alcohol and methyl alcohol. Again, alcohol and methyl alcohol, every 2 years one question is asked. Then CNS stimulants and cognition enhancers, they are moderately important. Then we have pharmacology of local anesthetic. So local anesthetic, general anesthetic are important. Many times what happens is that they won't ask you to write a short note on general anesthetic. So write a short note on local anesthetic. They will just give you any molecule, any drug. For example, they write a short note on penicillin, write a short note on atropine. They'll write that, give the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics, or write the mechanism of action or the site of action and distribution of the drugs listed below, and they will list the drugs. So like that also you have to memorize or learn. Then sometimes also the question is asked like what are the drugs that are excreted in urine and why. So at that time you will have to write about what the polarity of the drug molecules and how it affects the excretion process. Then we have pharmacology of drugs acting on respiratory tract. Here we have bronchodilators which are very important in asthma. Then nasal decongestants, antitussive, expectorant, mucolytics. Most of these are used in cough. Mucolytics, they are used in cough. And then pharmacology of hormones and hormone antagonists. Thyroid and antithyroid, it is very much important. Also in pathophysiology second year you will have thyroid. So at that time also this will be very much important. Then we have insulin, insulin analogs and oral hypoglycemic agents. These are very much important. There are two types of insulin, human insulin, and there is also synthetic insulins which are derived from porcine or pig. So the classification is important. Mainly the classification of insulin, it is based upon their bioavailability. Like some are short acting insulin, they have to be taken just before food. Some are long acting, some are moderately acting. So the classification is based on that. Then we have oxytocin and other stimulants and relaxants. These are mainly used during parturition. Then we have sex hormones and oral contraceptives. So sex hormones are very much important. Estrogen, testosterone, both. How they are formed, where do they act, what do they cause, etc. Pharmacology of autocoids and their antagonists. So autocoids, they are hormones which exhibit their mechanism or exhibit their function on the surrounding cells. Okay. Then so in this we have histamines and antihistamines. That is, antihistamines are nothing but anti-allergic drugs, so they are important. Then 5-hydroxytryptamine, that is serotonin and its antagonist. So histamine and its antihistamines, serotonin and its antagonist are important. Then lipid derived autocoids and platelet activating factor, they are moderately important. So pharmacology of second year will be a bit hard because it is the first time that you will be learning the subject. Also there is lots of mugging up because there is vast classification of each and every class of drug, and all the drugs, they have different factors. Even if it is of the same class, as I said, for insulin, its bioavailability differs, sometimes its site of action differs, even if it is from the same class, etc. So they are important. What are the adverse effects that the drugs can cause are very important. Apart from nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, also there are loads of drugs, such as if it is streptomycin, then it will cause deafness. There are certain antibiotics that will cause tinnitus, then hepatomegaly, etc. So all of them are very much important. Mainly they cause nephrotoxicity, hepatotoxicity, all the antibiotics. So all the adverse effects are very much important, especially as I said, like there are specific adverse effects which specific class will always cause. For example, if it is antibiotic, then it will most of the time it will cause GI disturbance and diarrhea, like in 80% of the cases. Why? Because antibiotics, they act on our gut flora, right? And they are not selective. They don't selectively act only on the bad gut flora, they also destroy our good gut flora. So that is the reason there will be disturbed GI motility, and which will lead to diarrhea. So yeah, that is it. And in case you have any doubts or if you need my notes, then let me know in the comment section below. You can mail me. That is it for this video. Thank you so much. This is Sakshi signing off and asking you to subscribe to her channel. Also, please share my videos as much as you can with all your other friends. Goodbye. So for answering the two queries from the comment section, one is asked by Ankit Tripathi. He has asked, can pharmacy make medicine also? Yes, you can very well go into the pharmaceutical industry also. And then we have from Lakshmi Rai, can pharmacy students use stethoscope? Yes, in my first year we were taught how to use stethoscopes, but in most of the colleges this is not the practice. They are mainly taught to use stethoscope in second year or third year when the ward round start. So it is totally dependent on your college.